Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Greetings of peace, dear viewers, and Ramadan Mubarak. We hope you're having a wonderful Ramadan, inshallah, and are getting not just hunger out of the Ramadan and thirst, but something for your soul and your spirit as well. Today we have a very interesting episode. We're going to be talking about the 5 love languages. So, dear ladies, call your husbands to come and watch with you, and dear gentlemen, dear brothers, please call your wives to sit and watch this episode with you. It's wonderful for communication in our marriage. As you know, the Prophet ﷺ, of course, gave us the best tools for communicating, and anything that can increase our communication skills, be it from a hadith and Quran, or even being it from psychology and modern books, is going to be creating a happy home, which is very important to the Muslim family. So today I would like to welcome Brother Tony Brown. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Tony is from Canada. He is a revert to Islam, and he is an IT and systems specialist and living in Kuwait. So Mr. Tony has done some study on the 5 love languages, which are a really interesting topic and we would like to talk about today. But before we start that topic, Brother Tony, would you tell me just a little bit about your reversion to Islam? Like, what brought you to Islam? You being a Western man,
Sure.
what interested you?
Sure, yeah. I was born in a Christian family, and so I was brought up to be a Christian. And I didn't even hear the word Islam until I was about maybe 16 years old. I was driving to work and I turned on a Christian radio station. I like to listen to sermons and things as I drive to kill the time. Because you know, Canada is very spread out, so we do a lot of driving.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so to get to work, I'd spend about half an hour of driving, so I like to listen to sermons.
So you were an active Christian, actually, listening to
that's right.
sermons. As a young man, that's something rare, actually.
Yeah, that's right. It's very rare in Canada and in any Western country for that matter. So anyways, yeah, I was listening to that and they were bringing up the topic about Islam, and that was the first time in my whole life I even heard this word. And they were saying that it's the 2nd largest religion in the world. And that just shows you that, you know, I guess I wasn't very astute to world politics or world issues. I knew there was a lot of conflict in the Middle East, but I never understood anything about the religion itself. So he said that Muslims worship the Prophet Muhammad, they worship a black stone in the desert, and they worship the moon. And they worship the moon.
The moon.
The moon god, yeah.
Oh boy.
So anyways, this, I guess I had a lot of misconceptions at that point.
Of course, yeah.
And the whole episode was about how violent Islam is and how violent Muslims are. And this was even before 9/11 and things like that. So I felt like I wanted to become like a missionary for Muslims so I could bring Muslims to Christianity. So that was my original intention, because I thought, well, they're so violent, maybe they'd be more peaceful if they could become Christians, right?
So wow, how strong that message, that one message on the radio was, you know, in making you think that, subhanAllah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, so anyways, over the years, I thought I would, you know, focus a lot of my religion so that if Muslims want to know anything, that I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be ignorant, so I really focused on learning about my religion and learning a little bit about Islam too. And I guess it was kind of on and off, but then after 9/11 I became very motivated because I could see, like, I remembered, you know, during 9/11 I was at work when this happened, and I remembered back to this radio broadcast that I heard about. And I said, so yeah, it's true, they're so violent and they hate us and everything like that.
They just substantiated what you already believed, yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So then I became even more motivated to with my studies and learning about Islam and things like that. So eventually I found a lot of problems reading the Bible. Like, for example, it would say that God sleeps or God rests. You know, in many places, not just one place.
Right.
There's a lot of comments about God that isn't really befitting of Him. Like, for example, there is one story about how God became a human and that Jacob wrestled with him and beat him, you know. And so
yes. So how can this God take care of all the world if he's actually
beaten by a man, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
lots of problems like that. And you know, when I was studying about Islam, there's basically two verses that really appealed to me, and that was Ayat al-Kursi. And I didn't even know this was an important verse in the Quran, but as I was reading through the translation, I was like, oh, that's a very nice verse. I like that. Because I'm comparing that to what I had learned in Christianity, where God would sleep or need a rest. And in Ayat al-Kursi, it says he never needs any sleep. He sounds very powerful, and this is what you would expect from a God, right?
Of course,
if he can create the universe, he must be powerful. He must not need...
Scary if he would go to sleep and not take care of you during that time, yeah?
That's right. Yeah, so, and also there is another verse that talks about the Christians and Jews would call you to their religion, but instead tell them that you follow the religion of Abraham. And so this was significant for me because I thought about it. I thought, okay, what was Abraham's religion? Because he came before Judaism. He came before Christianity. So, you know, what was his religion? It was obviously just submission to God. Like if you took a time machine and went back and said, Abraham, what's your religion? Could you just tell me? He would...
No label.
Yeah, there's no label. He would just say, I'm a submitter or something like that, you know? And that's actually what the word Muslim means. It means somebody who submits, right?
Yes,
that's what Islam means. So if you go to talk to Abraham, it might be a little bit different vocabulary, but it's going to be the same concept.
Exactly.
So,
that is very interesting.
Anyways, I guess at the end of the day, Islam is a lot more logical. I found the concept of God to be a lot more clear and concise rather than the ideas about the Trinity and about God changing forms, changing to a man or having a son.
So it just made sense to you. Islam made sense.
That's right. Yeah.
MashaAllah. Well, we go for a quick break, and after the break, we will start on our interesting subject on communication. We'll be right back, inshallah.
One song can change a moment. One idea can change a world. One step can start a journey. But a prayer can change even the impossible.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back, dear viewers. We were just with Brother Tony, who just gave us a little bit of background on his reversion to Islam, which was really interesting. Mashallah, actually reverted to Islam by wanting to become a missionary to convert Muslims to Christianity, subhanallah. Now, today's topic is about the importance of communication, good communication, and communication in a marriage. So, Brother Tony, you have some knowledge on 5 love languages. What exactly are the 5 love languages?
So, okay, in the United States, there's a famous psychologist, and his name is Dr. Gary Chapman. Okay, so he did a lot of research over the years. This isn't a small topic. He wrote many books on the subject. I haven't read them all, but the main idea is that we communicate verbally and non-verbally, right? So there's certain ways that we tell somebody that we love them. And he narrowed it down to 5 different ways. When he was a psychologist, he would have people come to him. And a lot of the women would tell him, okay, I'm having a problem. I feel like my husband doesn't love me. And he would interview the husband, and he might say the same thing. I feel like my wife doesn't love me.
So it's really a global thing. I'm sure that our viewers here would have the same reaction, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was very confused, and he was wondering, like, why are so many men and women complaining that they don't feel loved? And so basically, he did a lot of research and developed this concept that people show love in a different way. So if you're showing love in a certain way, the other person may not pick up on it because they show love in a different way. And so he called it a different language. Like each of us would have our own language.
Right, like one person speaking Chinese, one person speaking English and saying we don't understand each other, for example.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. So he said there's 5 love languages. So the first is gifts. Okay, so some people show their love by giving a gift. Okay, second would be acts of service. Okay, so For example, the husband might do the dishes one night so the wife can take a rest. The wife might do the husband's laundry, and that's a way to show that the person loves them. Also, spending quality time together. Okay, so, and also physical touch, like hugging, holding hands, things like that. And this doesn't only apply to husband and wife, because this can apply to best friends. They might hold hands. Especially here in the Middle East, it's not uncommon to see two women holding hands in the mall, or two men.
Right.
Or kissing on the cheeks, right?
Right, yes.
Shaking
They're very,
hands.
very physical in their affection, in showing affection, yes.
That's right. So this is one way that people show their love towards other people. And finally, we have verbal communication. Some people just want to say it.
Right.
Okay, so these are basically the 5 love languages. This is how we communicate, and it's really like a different language, because if somebody gives you a gift, you may not interpret this as they're showing their love. You may interpret this as it's just a token of gratitude or something like that.
So you misinterpret it because that's not the language you're using.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So the problem that we face is that we always give what we want to receive. Okay? And we always interpret the actions of the world based on our personality.
And our vision, our view, yes.
Yeah. So for example, let's say I'm a thief, I would think everybody's a thief, right?
Right, yes,
We
of course.
always think the world is the way we are.
Yes.
You know, if I see somebody driving crazy, I might think, I might interpret this a certain way based on how, like my situations of when I did something crazy.
Yes.
So I'd
yes.
think, oh, they're doing it by accident.
Yeah, actually, I think there's an Arabic saying. I don't know how to say it exactly in Arabic, but it's in the meaning of you view everybody through how you are, how your insights are. So if you're corrupt, you view everybody as corrupt, just like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it's very interesting. And also related to this research, there is a caveat to this, is that, men don't necessarily need the same amount of love as a woman. So women in general, this is kind of a broad blanket statement, but women basically need 80% love, 20% respect. Okay? Now with men, it's almost the exact opposite. Men need respect more than love. They need 80% respect and 20% love. So men still need to be loved, but just not as much. We want to be respected.
Right.
And you can always see this when, like for example, when a man injures himself, like he has a cut. He doesn't want the wife to come and baby him and, oh, are you okay? Like he's a baby, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he doesn't want a mom, he wants a wife, yeah.
Yeah, so he wants the wife to say, oh, wow, you're so tough. You've been working so hard. You have this cut on your hand. Now,
I appreciate you for doing the hard job you did today, even though you're hurt, or yes.
Yeah, and they might say, oh, if that was me, I would be crying. You're very strong. You're very manly. That's what they want to hear. Whereas if a wife is chopping vegetables, she cuts her finger, she wants the man to be like, oh, it's okay, I'll take care of that, I'll clean it for you.
Yeah, wife definitely doesn't want to hear, oh, you can handle this, you're tough, right? You're going to interpret it as no love.
That's right, exactly. So there is a bit of a difference that way, but so this topic kind of is geared more towards women. And we all know that women, their primary drive or motivation is to seek love and to give love too.
Yes. Yes.
So this topic of the 5 love languages is a little more geared towards women than to men, but it's still important to consider for men as well.
Right, mashallah. So you were saying that the gift giving, for example. So if somebody likes to, like you were saying, somebody likes to receive gifts, that's when they will actually give gifts?
Yeah, that's right. And you see, in each of these 5 love languages, there's hidden messages. For example, if I give you a gift, it means I was thinking about you when you weren't there.
Right. Well, we'll hold that thought and be back. It's really interesting. Please, viewers, stay with us to continue more about the 5 love languages. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our topic on the five love languages with Brother Tony Brown. Now, Brother Tony, you were saying about the five love languages. If you could just repeat one more time for those viewers who just tuned in. What are the five love languages?
Sure, it's giving gifts, acts of service, spending time together, physical touch, and also words of affirmation, using verbal communication.
Right, and so you were saying that people actually speak in the language that they like to receive.
That's right, that's right. So it's almost like a different language.
Right, so there must be a lot of miscommunication then. Are people actually using these forms of communication with each other?
I think they aren't. You know, I'm from Canada. I've seen many examples of different relationships, and I think there's a lot of confusion. I think it normally works out well when two people are speaking the same language, but that's like a 1 in 5 chance, right?
Right, yes.
But yeah, anyways, it's very, very important because, you know, these love languages, they have hidden messages. Like I was just saying before the break that if you give somebody a gift, it means you were thinking about them when they weren't there. And you have gone to a lot of work to get this thing for them.
Right.
Also, you know, acts of service. What you're actually telling them, like when you do something for them, like when you clean the house, when you prepare their lunch, when you iron their dish dasha, or anything like that, what you're saying is, I want to make your life easier for you. Mm-hmm. You know,
yes,
so this is the hidden
yes.
message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Spending time together. Of course, you'd never want to spend time together with somebody you hate, right?
Yes.
So when you spend time with somebody, it means like you want to be closer, you want to get to know them more.
And time these days is valuable, so it actually is quite rare to have enough time to spend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same with physical touch. You know, this is just natural, and it's natural for all animals. You know, when a cat loves you, it will want to brush by your leg.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely, yes.
It's very natural that when you love somebody, you want to be close. You want to sit near them. You want to hold their hand. Or
right, the barriers of personal space break down only towards those people whom you like or love.
That's
right.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And also for words of affirmation, you know, when you, sometimes people will want to communicate using verbal communication, so they just want to tell the person, you know, I love you, or they just want to tell them, you're a good friend, or I appreciate all the things you've done for me, or something like that. They just want to hear it. Or you look good today, something very simple.
Right, some nice compliment, something to make the other person feel good.
Yeah.
So how can people implement these love languages?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a story. Before I became Muslim, I had a girlfriend, and she was definitely a gift person. She was always buying little things for me. And we were just starting out in life. We didn't have a lot of money, and so I didn't really like that she's buying all these things. We were in a small apartment, and it was also cluttering up the apartment. I'm a minimalist. I prefer things to be clean, empty. You know, if you have
no clutter.
Yeah, if you have a desk, you know, I think it's better to have nothing on the desk rather than, you know, flowers and a clock and pens and
right.
all this stuff. But other people like that. I'm just a little abnormal that way. And
no,
so
you're just different. I mean, everybody has a preference, right?
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, she was always buying gifts for me, always buying little candies and sweets and cards and things like that. And what I was saying is, why did you buy that? Don't waste your money. We don't have a lot of money. So what was she hearing? Because she was a gift person, this is her way of showing love to me. I'm saying, I don't want your love. That's the power of what I was saying by rejecting these things that she was giving me. Mm-hmm. Now, on the opposite side, I'm kind of a touchy person. I like to hug and things like that. Well, she interprets this as being clingy, and she would, you know, she wasn't as affectionate. Space. Yeah, she wants her own space, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so the way I was interpreting this is she doesn't like me, she doesn't love me. So you see how the miscommunication can cause a lot of harm in the relationship.
That's right, and if people don't understand that, they can actually cause major trouble in a marriage, for example.
Yeah, so I think for the most part, people aren't implementing them as well as they can. This is new research, by the way, so this isn't something that we've known about for a long time or even thought about. So, you know, I don't think people are implementing it at all. I think it's something that lives in the subconscious mind, and people don't understand what's going on. They're showing love, but not getting anything back. This is the way they're interpreting it.
Right. So knowing now what you know about the five love languages, and hopefully our viewers also have a little insight into this now, what can they do to start implementing this, for example? What could they do?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the first thing you have to do is identify the love language of the other person. And this might be your boss or your friend or your colleague, but it's more applicable to your spouse, because this is the person you live with, right?
Yes.
You want to make sure that person feels loved, and you want to make sure you're getting the messages that you need too. It's just a psychological need. We all have this need. So what you need to do is try and figure out what love language they speak, and also identify your own love language. You know, maybe that's a better place to start with yourself.
The harder one probably too,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. So try and figure out what you like. What do you respond to the best? Like, it's your birthday, or it's, you know, Muslims don't celebrate birthdays, but maybe it's Eid. They bought a gift for you. Did it really touch you? Did it really make you feel emotional? Or they said something nice to you. Did it really impact you? Did it really go into the heart, or was it just something nice? Maybe they did something for you, like they brought flowers to work, or they wrote a little card or something verbal. Maybe they want to spend time with you. They took you somewhere where you could, you know, watch a movie together, or walk by the beach. There's lots of beautiful beaches here in Kuwait, so maybe they want to bring you to the beach to go for a quick walk.
Take from their time to spend with you during the Eid, or...
That's right. So did that have a really powerful impact on you? Once you identify your own love language, you can kind of communicate that to the other person.
Very interesting. So we'll be back in a minute. We'll go for break, and we will continue in just a few.
M is for the million things she gave me. O means only she's growing old. T is for the tears she shed to save me. H is for her heart of purest gold. E is for her eyes with love light shining. R means right, and right she'll always be. Put them all together, they spell mother, a word that means the world to me.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. We are on a really interesting and actually a very important topic called the 5 love languages. This is actually a topic that was created by a psychologist, right? In American or Canadian? American psychologist. However, you know, alhamdulillah, we Muslims are always encouraged to seek knowledge, and anything that is compatible with Islam is very important. We can implement it into our daily lives. So you were talking about the 5 love languages and how we communicate differently.
Yeah, that's right.
And so what importance is communication anyways between people? What can, like you were saying, that it can cause problems if we don't communicate?
Yeah, this is something that can literally destroy your relationship if you don't understand it, or it can build a solid relationship. Because let's say you have the wife and she doesn't feel loved, well, they aren't going to be close together. It's impossible.
Yes.
You know,
so it's really important in a marriage to be able to express love properly and to receive it properly as well.
That's right. That's right.
Subhanallah. And inshallah, in the next episode, dear viewers, we're going to address how these 5 love languages actually apply to Islam, because of course we're going to tie that in, inshallah. And we hope you've learned something new today, which I've learned a lot of new things, and Jazakallah khair, thank you so much for that. It's very interesting to apply in all aspects of your life, whether it be in your marriage, or like Brother Tony said, among friends, or maybe even with your children. And so inshallah, we hope to see you to the next episode. Please tune in because it's going to be a continuation of today's talk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.